The year is 1900. Hans Wilsdorf, a young Bavarian man, stood alone at his parents' graveside. He had lost his mother at 12. 5 years after that, his father died. He had grew up middle class, comfortable and stable. While others slept, Hans spent his nights memorizing English vocabulary by the flickering light of a single candle. This isolation was not a prison. It was the forge where his iron will was tempered. By 19, Hans secured an apprenticeship at a pearl export firm in Switzerland. He eyed traders, selling dreams to the insatiably status-hungry. In 1905, he arrived in London with a vision that defied the entire industry. Partnering with Alfred Davis, he imported Swiss movements but refused the path of cheap goods. He demanded absolute precision. In his personal life, Hans was developing a relationship with Florence May Crotty. In 1908, Hans married Florence, and the two became lifelong partners. She helped Hans run the company, though her work often went unrecognized by the public. Later that year, a lightning bolt of inspiration struck. He scribbled a name on a scrap of paper: Rolex. It was short, sharp, and sounded like the rhythmic ticking of a perfect machine. He registered the trademark immediately, transforming a simple partnership into a singular, prestigious brand. In 1910, Hans walked into the Kew Observatory and demanded a chronometer certificate for a wristwatch. The officials laughed. Back then, wristwatches were considered feminine toys. But when the test results returned, the watch had passed every grueling trial. Hans didn't just celebrate, he weaponized the truth. He plastered the certificate across every major newspaper. When World War I erupted, he flooded the trenches with his watches. Soldiers discovered that a glance at their wrist was faster than fumbling for a pocket watch under fire. A habit born in war became a standard for peace. The world was changing, and Hans was the one holding the clock, literally. The year was 1926. Hans locked himself in a workshop to solve the ultimate weakness: moisture. He developed the oyster case, featuring a revolutionary screw-down crown that sealed the movement. To prove his genius to a skeptical public, Hans handed a watch to swimmer Mercedes Gleitze. For over 10 grueling hours, she battled the frigid, salt-heavy waves. Exhausted, when she finally came ashore, the watch was still ticking perfectly. The first ever waterproof watch. The next morning, Hans bought a full-page ad in the Daily Mail. The oyster wasn't just a watch, it was an invincible companion. The world was captivated, and the orders began to pour in. He had conquered the water, but his greatest technical feat was still to come. By 1931, Wilsdorf reached the summit of horology with the perpetual rotor. This invention allowed the watch to wind itself simply by the movement of the wearer's arm. He had effectively conquered time, water, and gravity. But success came with a heavy personal price. In 1944, his beloved wife Florence passed away. He was heartbroken, and the marriage did not produce any children. Hans sat in his quiet, empty office, staring at the blueprints of an empire. With no heirs to carry his name, he faced a final, critical decision. He signed the legal papers to create the Hans Wilsdorf Foundation. His legacy was now protected by the same precision he built into his gears. Hans Wilsdorf transitioned in 1960, leaving behind a name that survived the rise and fall of empires. Decades later, the orphan's invention evolved far beyond the trenches, appearing on the wrists of renowned musical artists, in country clubs, cockpits, underwater, and in the boardroom. A status symbol in mainstream culture, Rolex doesn't follow the standard of luxury, it is the standard of luxury. Regarded as a universal symbol of success, Hans Wilsdorf was a legend, who transformed the wristwatch industry, an icon, whose determination built something far beyond his lifetime, and a trailblazer. And nowhere is that legacy more alive than in mainstream culture. Hans built a machine designed to measure time, but he created something that completely defied it. The ticking continues, steady and eternal, a testament to a boy who had nothing but a vision and a suitcase. We honor you, Hans. You are a legend, an icon, and a trailblazer. Want to see more like this? Like, subscribe, share.